For the final time, we go racing here at the Snetterton 300 circuit in Norfolk. Round 12 of the GB4 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. And this weekend, it has been an Ari Bansal domination. Double pole position, a double race win, followed closely by championship leader Dan Ginchard in that last race. However, first podium for Luke Hilton in that last race sees him gain some momentum. Reverse grid, partial reverse grid in this one, 12 places. Let's look back at round number 11 from this morning with the highlights.
Round 11 highlights. It was another 1-2 on the grid for Ari Bansal and Isaac Phelps, but this time that 1-2 wouldn't last for long. Dan Ginchard would climb straight through into second place after a great start and go straight on the attack for Ari Bansal. A spin a little bit further back for Dudley Ruddock, unfortunately, and then there would be dramas a little bit further back in the field as we got congested going into the first corner. This happened as well. We had Alex O'Grady and Thomas Ingram Hill coming together on the first lap. Thomas Ingram Hill did a good job eventually to recover and get back in the pack. Then Leon Wilson and Leandro Juncos coming together, complete miscommunication between the drivers, and Juncos would be into pit lane with that suspension damage. This was the spin for Jason Pribble coming through Coram, a very challenging corner, very fast corner, and Pribble felt the full force of that there late on in the race as the tyres wore on. Ginchard challenged Bansal on the final lap, couldn't quite get through. Coulthard spun on the final lap as he dropped a rear wheel on the grass. Out front, Bansal held off the late pressure from Ginchard to take 2 wins in 2.
Very interesting race there, round number 11. Some championship connotations going on there. The gap has closed now. 241 points for Dan Ginchard plays, 216 points for Ari Bansal. So well within a win between those two. So it's going to go down to the wire, but don't count out any of the other elite motorsport drivers. They're right there of Phelps and Catulus. And Catulus has a good opportunity there in the number 51 car for Elite Motorsport to have a good race from this one. He goes off 6th place owing to his not ideal qualifying position. A reminder, this is a partial reverse grid for race number 3. Top 12 from qualifying get reversed, and then we go racing. Points gained for every position gained from your starting position, a reduced number of points for your finishing position, 20 for a race win, plays 35 from race 1 and race 2, but every position you gain is a bonus point, so very much an incentive for the drivers to overtake. And one of those drivers that is benefiting from the reverse grid or partial reverse grid is Alex Berg, then the number 98 with his very cool shades on over there, the Canadian driver. I caught up with him after race number 2. It's been a difficult weekend for the Graham Brunton racing team so far in terms of where they would like to be, but I caught up with Alex Berg and his teammate Callum Baxter, who I spoke to first. Callum, that looked like a busy race number 2 out there on circuit. Talk to us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, I had a really good start, made up a few positions on the first lap, was running well. Unfortunately, kind of had a rough lap where I dropped down, I think, another 3 or 4 spots, and then had to battle back, get those spots back at the end.
Of course, we saw you out in the GB4 car last year here, a new car for this season. How has it been getting on top of things? I know it's been an adaptation in terms of driving style and car setup.
Yeah, we've been a little bit off the pace, especially compared to how we were last year. I feel like we took a step forward in that race, but unfortunately, qualifying didn't really go how we wanted outside of the top 12. So for race 3 this afternoon, I won't be starting near the front with the reverse grid, but I'll be looking to make up some positions for points.
Absolutely, we've seen you make plenty of overtakes in this championship last year and this year. And what sort of things do you think you can bring into that final race weekend that's going to help you get the best result possible?
I think just experience from last year here. I actually, in the race 3, I finished 2nd, being last on the track at one point, so just try to kind of replicate what I did in that race.
Absolutely, that sounds like a good plan. Callum Baxter for Graham Brunton Racing. We'll see how you go in race 3.
Thank you.
Alex, here at a warm Snetterton this weekend. It's been a bit more physical than potentially other rounds we've had so far. Race number 2, that looked busy for you.
Yeah, it was certainly busy. I had to stay on my toes the whole race with Coulthard behind me. But I mean, in terms of being hot, this is normal for me. If anything, it's a little cool from where I live. So really enjoying the weather this weekend.
Yeah, we're enjoying it as well, although I imagine for a lot of the drivers from around these parts, it's pretty hot. Looking into race number 3, we know it's the reverse grid. I don't think, did you quite make the reverse? Yeah, you did. So you're going to have potentially a good opportunity, a good result in this one.
Yeah, we played a little bit of a tyre strategy in race number 2, so I think going into race 3 we have good tyres, cars feeling great with the setup changes that we've made, and I'm I'm ready to roll for race 3, starting the P2 reverse grid.
Amazing, and of course we've just heard from Callum Bax, your teammate as well. You guys have been working together to get the car, and also you're driving in Czech as well, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great working with Callum. He's a good guy, real funny. But yeah, working to get the car in tune has been great. We have similar driving styles, but the setup on the car is certainly feeling better than it is before, and yeah, happy to go for the next one.
I bet you're looking forward to trying to replicate that Donington reverse grid win as well.
Absolutely, that would certainly be fun.
Alex, thanks very much. We'll keep an eye on you for that race.
Thank you.
That was the unofficial Team Canada there, the two Canadian drivers, Callum Baxter and Alex Berg. We heard from Alex Berg just a moment ago. He does go, a reminder, from second place on this partial reverse grid race. Very cool customer, saying that this sort of weather is very much his own, he's used to it from his own backyard in nice and warmer climates. Actually, on the weather, just briefly, the clouds have very much rolled in this afternoon. Temperature feels a lot cooler here. The circuit temperature will be down considerably due to that cloud cover, so potentially something the drivers will need to consider, along with the teams and how they set up the car to get exactly the most out of the cars and also the tyres. And I'll come on to tyres as well, because there's some tactics going on at the front, but I'll talk about that later. Bumper grid here this weekend for rounds 10, 11 and 12. We've spoken about that a few times, 24 cars on the grid, some new drivers, and one of those was Flame Auricola. We caught up with her ahead of the weekend, but I grabbed her again after race number 2 because she had a great result, 15th place, and she was very happy about it. Flame, we spoke to you ahead of the race weekend. You've now 2 races in, and that second race was definitely your strongest so far. I can see you're pretty happy.
Yeah, I think it was just getting a good start. Yesterday wasn't the best, shifted up too early, so focus on getting a good start and then just head down and try and push. Try and make as much position as possible, which is what I tried to do, and I had fun, so that was good.
We know you've got plenty of experience behind the wheel in other categories, but how was it, racing wheel to wheel with other drivers in an open wheel GB4 car?
Yeah, I think it's such a cool experience. Definitely different to any other car I've driven. Just the speeds and how you're next to each other, and it's just such a great experience. I really enjoyed that race.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I can see a genuine smile on your face, and we've still got one more to go this weekend. What sort of things are you learning already from the first 2 races this weekend that you're able to take into that third race?
Yeah, I think just carrying how much speed you can carry through a corner is just different from any car I've driven, so getting used to that and the hard brake and the intensity, just carrying that throughout the race. So I'm looking forward to race 3 and see what I can do.
And I bet it's good to have the teammates alongside you that you're able to learn off as well.
Yeah, definitely. Having 2 teammates, so a maxed out car with pace performance, I think it's really great to learn off of them. They've had a bit more experience doing the last 3 races already this season, so that's been really great. Having to push on to try and catch them, so yeah.
Flame, you're doing a great job so far. We look forward to seeing how you progress throughout the rest of this weekend and hopefully in the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Flame Auricola there, a new driver to the grid. We've had a fair few drivers joining the championship over this season with the new car for 2025. Right behind me, you can see drivers getting ready, and this is Enzo Hallman, winner of this race 1 event ago at Alton Park, the reverse grid race, and an excellent drive. He did very well to get on top of that one. And he's looking for a good result in this one, and I said I'd talk about tyres. Brand new left-hand side tyres on Enzo Hallman's car there. You can see they are unused, or they're a bit dusty because they've come over from the Douglas Motorsport awning. However, he's going to be hoping to use extra tyre grip to push himself onto the podium, starting on 4th place in this partial reverse grid race. We know how good Enzo Hallman can be. It looks like the top 3 drivers have got different tyre strategies. Leon Wilson has a fully scrubbed set of tyres. I think Alex Berg actually has some tyres where he's kind of crossed them over. It's a tactic that some teams use. And then also 2 new left-hand side tyres for our pole sitter Jack Taylor for Vortec Motorsport. We're stood beside Enzo Hallman, a very good weekend at Alton Park, and I caught up with him ahead of the weekend, looking into this weekend and to reflect on those results at Alton. Enzo, currently sitting 5th in the championship. That must be a good feeling for yourself. Was that above what you expected, below what you expected? What's the situation?
Actually, I didn't have really any expectations because I really didn't know the competition and everything, but the P5 it's good. And we're quite close to top 3, so yeah, it's good.
Very good indeed, currently leading the way in terms of your all 3 teammates. You've got some strong teammates as well. But last race weekend, should we say, at Alton Park, chaotic race weekend, but both yourself and the team called it perfectly. 2 podiums, a 3rd place, and your first win in the championship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was great. We had a great weekend. We just did everything right, and yeah. got a win, so it's fantastic.
And clearly you've got some skills in wet conditions. We saw that on the circuit. We're unlikely to get any wet weather this weekend at a Scorchio Snetterton. I suppose that doesn't change your outlook?
No, the pace feels quite alright. We struggled a little bit in the practice now, but it feels good. You know, this weekend it's just about scoring. Just get some decent points and keep my fight in the championship alive.
And let's talk about that championship fight. I think only 22 points off second place. Of course, Dan Ginchard a bit further ahead at the front of the field, but he's got a lot of experience at this level. What's your outlook for the rest of the year? Are you thinking about the championship? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, of course. Like finishing top 3 would be really good. And right now we can have it as a goal because we're P5, so we're quite close. So we're just doing good races and scoring points it's the number 1 goal.
Enzo, well, we'll keep an eye on you for the rest of the weekend, number 7 for Douglas Motorsports, and see how the rest of the season plays out.
Yeah, thank you.
Great to catch up with Enzo. He was, I know, a bit disappointed after qualifying, but has an opportunity to redeem himself with a good result in this partially reverse grid round number 12. And I know that's one of the advantages of this format with 3 races and the partial reverse grid. Drivers that maybe didn't quite execute everything they could in qualifying still have the opportunity to race through and get themselves a podium. I was chatting to the Douglas Motorsport team, and they reckon there's a 17% chance of rain in this one. There's some fairly angry looking clouds in the distance, but unlikely to come and affect this race. It's still mid-20s in terms of temperature here. Track temperature, as I mentioned earlier, will be a bit lower than we've experienced this weekend so far. Also, I was hearing from Enzo as well off camera, and he says that going from Sweden back to England, back to Sweden over the last few weeks, he's found it genuinely tricky to acclimatise. So that's something that these drivers train for in terms of their physical training, getting themselves ready for the race weekends. We're racing here, of course, at not Oulton Park. We've done that already. That was last time out. Snetterton 300 circuit here. And Chris McCarthy is going to talk you through the circuit in a bit more detail. Then we'll ride on board with our pole sitter of race 1 and race 2. That was Ari Bansal.
It's a quick run through the right-hander to kick us off here at Rich's, and then into the first big overtaking zone down at Wilson. There's a lot of places to overtake around here at the Snetterton 300. One of them straight at Agostini. The run through Oggies and Williams, crucial to get you a good run down the Bentley Straight, where we're going to see lots of slipstreaming to set up an overtake down at Nelson. Bumhole, one of the trickiest corners on the circuit, but it leads into the long right-hander at Coram, and then into the tight left at Murray's, and down the centre straight, where we could see the winner decided in a slipstream battle. This, the Snetterton 300 circuit, where we first began racing in GB4 back in 2022. Now 75 races in. How will the racing be different in these brand new cars? That is a look at the Snetterton 300 circuit.
Let's ride on board pole sitter Ari Bansal for Elite Motorsport here at the Snetterton 300 circuit. A long run down towards turn 1 and Rich's, an overtaking opportunity just to breathe on the throttle through there. Very committed car moving around underneath him. Turn number 2, a big braking zone down towards here. This will be the main overtaking opportunity during the race. A late apex through there and using all of the road on the exit. Watch out for track limits on the exit as well. Turn number 3, slightly banked on the way in, and then the car goes light on the exit. Once again, track limits comes up quickly, so be mindful of that. Watch out for that in qualifying and the races. Agostini next, turn number 4, another braking zone with a late apex. He'll miss the first part of the corner, come back for the second apex, and then once again all the curb, but no more on the exit. Hamilton, just a breathe on the throttle, very committed through here, right up against the tyre stack at the apex. Oggie's next, an awkward bump under braking with a double apex corner come to the right. First apex hit, second apex not. Now we head onto the back straight, a corner that feels like it goes on forever. Squeeze the throttle to get a good exit down the back straight. You'll see drivers weaving left and right during the race to keep the slipstream. An overtaking opportunity into Brundle and Nelson can be done on the inside and the outside here. Brake as the shadow goes over the car. Keep it left through the left-hander to open up the right-hander. Very tricky and easy to run wide on the exit. Next up, the bum hole. Undulation through here, drops down at the apex, car bottoms out, easily flat in these GB4 cars. Coram, another corner that feels like it goes on forever, absolutely kills the left-hand side tyres. Then we brake and turn at the same time, the car squirming underneath him for the last corner of the circuit. That is a lap of the Snetterton 300 circuit in the new for 2025 GB4 car with our pole sitter, Ari Bansal. That's where we're racing this weekend, Snetterton 300 circuit, a real challenge for the drivers. A lot of long corners, a lot of technical sections where the drivers really have to get on top of the car, and it's easy to make a mistake, very little margin for error. We're looking at the back of our pole sitter, Jack Taylor here. He's confirmation he's on those new left-hand side tyres. A reminder of the format for the drivers and teams. Each car driver gets 6 new tyres, so basically a set and a half. They put the new tyres on for qualifying because that's when the tyres are fastest, and then they have 2 new tyres to use at any point for the rest of the weekend, either race 1, race 2 or race 3. And if you're not familiar, racing slick tyres almost always are fastest on the first time you use them when they're brand new. So that's why drivers often save it for this reverse grid race if there's someone near the front. And that's what Jack Taylor is doing, that's what Enzo Horman is doing, and it means that in the middle stage of the race they might have 2 or 3 tenths of an advantage over the drivers who have got used tyres, like Alex Berg and Leon Wilson, for example. We're just moments away from round number 12 now of the weekend, the final time we go racing, and I'm hoping to just jump in and have a quick word with Joseph Loke in a moment, who we caught up with ahead of race number 1, driver coach for Jack Taylor and the Fortec Motorsports team. You can see final words of advice there from Joseph Loke, of course a McLaren junior driver, just giving some encouragement for the drivers. All the driver coaches will do the bulk of their work before the race even starts, before we're even on the grid. They'll talk to the drivers about areas they can improve, areas that they're going to look to make and grab opportunities in the race. And this is the final moment just to be like, we know what we're doing, here we go. And I'm hoping in a moment, once the cars fire up, we're going to be able to grab everything, but it looks like we might actually be going green very, very shortly. Final word of encouragement for our pole sitter there, Joseph. What are you saying to him?
Tell him to go and win.
What does he need to do to do that?
I think around here, I mean, we've got the new lefts, should help us. So yeah, we're just going to try and get off the line, make sure that the tyres are in, and then see where we go. I think we're in for a good race for sure. Reverse grid round here is always fun.
It is always fun. Joseph Loke, I'll let you get off and get yourself nervous for the race start. I think we're about a few moments away, so for the final time this weekend, round 12 of the GB4 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. Let's go racing.
It's time to go racing for the final time this weekend. This round 12 of the GB4 Championship coming up, but this time there is a twist. We reverse the top 12 positions as they qualified yesterday. A chance for opportunity around this Snetterton 300 circuit, and as for those coming back through the pack, they'll have to use all of that Bentley straight and the overtaking opportunities at Nelson, Coram and Murray's, and make sure they've got a good run down centre straight to make their way through the field, as well as the points available. The 20 it is in this race for your winner, reduced down from 35 for the other 2 races. There is points for places gained, so the driver who gains the most positions in this race will score the amount of points they have achieved in terms of positions gained. So if they gain 7 places, they will get 7 points. In terms of, and that works to a maximum of up to 12 points. So in terms of the points for places gained in the third races, Enzo Horman has done the best so far for that on 19, along with Mayor Dionorine. And if you're watching, Mayor, a real shame that we don't have you here for this round, but hope to have you with us back for rounds 13, 14 and 15 at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit on the 2nd and 3rd of August. And Joshua McLean has also taken big advantage in this race and has gained 19 points in total. So in terms of the standings for points for places gained in this race, Enzo Hallman has done the best, and he'll be looking at this as a great opportunity. 3 podiums for Enzo, and he starts P4 on the grid. Well, as Piers mentioned at the top of the show, it's very much all been about Ari Bansal this weekend. He has been unbeatable so far. There is Enzo Hallman right on our picture, the Swedish driver looking to try and take advantage once again. Some great Swedish drivers coming through the ranks at the moment. We had Dino Beganovic out in the Ferrari, and Enzo Hallman next to try and come through. Of course, Linus Granfors has done well in this championship, going all the way. Enzo Hallman looking to come through now and be the next super Swedish driver, and a lot of support coming from that part of the world for their up-and-coming drivers. But going back to what I was going to say, Ari Bansal, 2 wins in 2 races so far for him this weekend. He's been quite literally unbeatable. He took both pole positions and has led every single lap so far this weekend. The last time we had a driver take a clean sweep of wins was Cooper Webster back at Donington Park Grand Prix circuit in October 2023. It doesn't happen often. We celebrate 75 races of the GB4 Championship this weekend. That's happened in the second race of the weekend, so round 11 of the championship earlier, and the clean sweep has only been done twice. It was done by Cooper Webster at Donington Park in 2023 and Nicholas Taylor at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit in July in 2022. So are we going to see a third driver do it? Ari Bansal will come from row 6, reversed from pole position back to 12th place for this race. He's going to be alongside Isaac Phelps, who ran him very close in the first race. That wasn't quite the case last time. It was Dan Ginchard who could, I'd say, be the one to watch in this one, as Piers runs by there and celebrates his birthday today. Whilst we got a bit of free air, I will say a happy birthday to Piers Prior, as we did just see him there on screen. He, along with Richard Randall, who I must say has put together the best stats pack for a championship I think I've ever seen. Puts in so much hard work to make sure this championship is documented well. He celebrated his birthday yesterday. Piers Prior celebrates his birthday today. Hopefully we can cap things off with a great race to celebrate the birthday of Piers Prior, who I'm going to let catch his breath back because he has just run across to join us in the commentary box. But Piers has been with this championship from the start and done a lot of good work for it. So a happy birthday to you, mate.
Thank you very much. Yes, I thought I'd run over Chris because we were ready to go racing and there seems to be a delay somewhere on the circuit that Marsh's not quite sure about. So I'd come and help you pre-face this race. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, so let's talk the race then. Jack Taylor, no wins for him. He's going to start from the front. Great opportunity for him, but we did see him on the podium back at round 4. Alex Berg, our round 3 winner. We're catching up with the Graham Bunting guys. They put together the Graham Brunton guys. They put together a newspaper for their team. You can tell us a little bit more about this, Piers. We were watching the 2 teammates read their own team's newspaper. I heard this was the first time they've done it this round, and they're going to do it again going forward. They're going to do one for Silverstone. Yeah, that's amazing. It's great to see some of the PR work that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of these teams, it's not just engineers and team managers and mechanics. There's a lot of thought that goes into it in terms of trying to build up some attention towards these young drivers, because as you've said many times this weekend, Chris, these are the drivers of the future. There's going to be professional drivers in this grid. Who knows, maybe some of these drivers will make it all the way to the likes of Formula One, and to try and drum up some support and also some sponsorship as well is hugely important, because as we know, as much as this is a very affordable first step into single-seater slicks and wings racing, motorsport is an expensive sport and it needs to be funded somehow. Yeah, and the mechanics and paddock of the future, they told me a great story that one of their crew is here today. And I believe just visiting the paddock, but has worked his way through with Graham Brunton in the likes of this paddock, and is now one of the lead mechanics on Roman Stanik's car in Formula 2. So that's a real great job by them. So a great shout out to that team for doing great job to market both
their drivers and the teams within it. And if you happen to be at Silverstone, go and pick up a copy of the Brunton Bulletin. Okay, onto the track. Jack Taylor looking for a first win. Alex Berg alongside Leon Wilson likewise.
Yeah, just to notice that Jack Taylor's actually pulled up into the grid slot number 3. So
yes,
just realising now that he's moving forward. So it may take us an extra moment just to get everyone in grid position.
Right, everyone's going to now move forward one.
Yeah.
Enzo Hallman alongside, and then we got Thomas Ingram Hill looking for a first podium. You feel that's a long time coming for Thomas. He's done very good stuff. Alex Katoulis, this could be a great opportunity for him. 4th in the championship, 53 points back. Would want to take advantage of this one.
No doubt at all. There's a lot of drivers in this reverse grid that are looking to have a good result. Jack Taylor, it'd be great to see him take a win. His pace at times this year has been exceptional, if I'm honest, and hasn't actually been able to turn it into essentially the results he would have liked. He was rapid at Silverstone, got 3rd place in race 1 and a 4th in race 2. But to go from pole position in this race would be a good opportunity for him to really show the progress that he's made. Alex Berg, we've already seen him win a reverse grid race at Donington Park. So will we see the gun show come out again? I don't know. If anyone is not sure what I'm referring to, then go back and have a watch of him drawing into Parc Ferme and getting out of the car. There was a lot of muscles flowing underneath those that race suit.
Right.
Then Leon Wilson, returning driver. Enzo Hallman, we know he had a good run in this race at Alton Park, taking the win.
An opportunity of a first win for Arden as well, who haven't quite made it to the top step yet since coming in last year. So let's see what they can do. The grid is set. Does it become a tyre battle now? You mentioned only 6 tyres. There's swapping from tyres left to right. Who's kept tyres in reserve? Is it all going to be a case of that now?
Yeah, the tyres do make a difference. It's not the difference between, it's not night and day difference if you're running a used tyre versus a new tyre. But if you've got 2 or 3 extra tenths, the likes of Jack Taylor with those left-hand side tyres, you can see the white writing on the tyre showing that it is brand spanking new. So therefore, he will have a bit of extra grip on the first few laps especially, and also, to be honest, throughout the whole race. And it gives you, especially if you're going from pole position, just the confidence that you've got a bit more grip. You don't have to push quite as hard. Your margin for error can be slightly greater and allow you just to control the race. Whereas if you're the roles reverse, where you're leading the race and the driver's got better tyres behind you, you know they're going to be pushing up to the back of you. But we saw in the last race, the last race we had, the second race of the weekend this morning, Dan Ginchard actually had slightly worse tyres than our leader Bansal and was able to stay with him. So it's not all about the tyre selection, it's about driving as well.
No, absolutely. And used his experience there 100%. So, well, for the final time this weekend, the drivers go round. Let's tell you the order they'll start in. Jack Taylor, podiums for him at round 4. Let's see if he can get back there. Alex Berg was a winner at round 3. They are going to be our front row. This, the top 12 reversed from qualifying. Leon Wilson, that means starts on the second row. Enzo Hallman leading the points battle in terms of positions gained. He'll be on row 2. Thomas Ingram Hill. Can we see a podium for the Fortec driver? He's alongside Alex Katoulis, 4th in the championship. Alex O'Grady took a penalty in the last race for his collision on the first lap. He's alongside Luke Hilton, now a podium finisher. Dan Ginchard, our championship leader, is on row 5 with Leandro Juncos, who's just had a really disappointing weekend in terms of misfortune. Isaac Phelps is then on row 6 with Ari Bansal. Solid weekend for both drivers. Can we see Ari Bansal get the hat-trick? Dayton Coulthard is next with Jason Pribble, who both drivers ending their races with a spin. So let's see if they can go better in this one. Stefan Bostandiev and Callum Baxter are on row 8, and then it's Josh McLean and Megan Bruce on row 9. Rounding out the top 20, Ava Dobson and Flamer Ricola, who we heard from after the race. Very happy with her progress. And Lily Watkins and Dudley Ruddock are next, as we do see a car slowing. We'll come to that in a sec. Holly Mile, Caitlin McDaniel.
Yes, that rounds out a 24 grid. That is the 45 there who's come to a stop. Unfortunately, that's Callum Baxter, the GBR driver, who we spoke to ahead of this race or after last race. He was hoping to have a good run in this final race. Looks like he's come to a stop on circuit. Very much hope he can get going again, but that's in the middle of the track, just going into Williams, into the start of this back straight. If he's not able to get that car going, we may well have another formation up while they retrieve that car, but not looking good for Baxter so far. Would be very disappointing.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Was due to start 16th on the grid. Callum Baxter had finished 11th place in the earlier race, but as Piers mentioned, if that car is stopped out on the circuit, we may see another formation lap here and a slightly delayed start. Let's hope Callum Baxter did get going again, but just seemed to come to a sudden stop. Well, the team in orange, who always do a great job for us everywhere we go to keep us racing, are doing their best to get it into a safe position, but the car not quite agreeing with them currently.
Yeah, looks like they were pushing it to the end of that orange barrier. They were hoping to tuck it behind there, but the car running so low is ground to a halt on the grass. Will need some sort of motorised assistance, which I would suspect will lead us to a delayed start, but that is to be confirmed. No, the confirmation now from race control, start is delayed, so we'll keep you updated as to how things go. Shouldn't be too much longer though, because that car just needs pulled out of the way.
Okay, start's delayed, so we wait on the grid a little bit more, and that will get all the drivers onto the grid, and then we'll likely see an extra formation lap, and then we will get this race underway. A real shame. Callum Baxter had a good weekend so far, and that's such a shame. But the team, for them, as I mentioned, doing a great job, and do go by the Graham Brunton awning if you are at Silverstone. What this does do, Piers, we didn't quite get a chance to talk much about how well the championship is done in 75 races. GB4, that's what we confirmed. Well, we'll confirm this race control message first, but 16 minutes is now going to be the race time. But we didn't quite get a chance to talk about this earlier because the race was so good. But in 75 races, GB4 has produced great success stories. We've got drivers on the road to F1, the road to IndyCar, the road to Le Mans, racing in British GT, British touring cars, GT World Challenge. You spoke to Joseph Logue there, who's come through GB3. You've been here pretty much from its entirety, from the start. How good has it been watching the championship evolve?
Yeah, it's been great to be part of it. I was joined at the second event, so I wasn't here at the first one at Snetterton all those years ago, and it's quite cool the fact the 75th race falls at the same venue that we saw the first event happen, although in very different conditions. No ice creams were being consumed on that day, I can assure you.
I think you picked a good one to join then.
Absolutely, yeah, but no, it's great to see so many drivers come through. You know, as you mentioned, a few of the championships the drivers are in, but the likes of, I'm thinking of Jared Waberski, who raced in the championship that first year, now racing in GT World Challenge. He came over from South Africa on effectively, not on a whim, but on a last-minute deal, and that shows that how much this championship can propel your career. And I know that you've got some other drivers that Chris noted down that have gone on to some other things.
Well, you know, we've had drivers go to F1 Academy as well, which is now a part of the championship, essentially. There is funding provided to get drivers on essentially the road to F1. So Megan Jarks and Jess Edgar were part of this championship. Then Alicia Palmovsky got that funding to help her go and be part of F1 Academy this year, as the teams are going to come back on.
And then even more recently, Ava Dobson raced as well. She's on the grid right now in this very race, number 55, racing for Arden as well. It's a good thing that the team's been let back out on the grid. It's a warm day out there, and after a formation lap, the temperature of the engine and all the fluids rise. So this is more just to allow the teams to get some blowers on the radiator to keep the engine temperatures in a window that is operational, so that we don't have anyone else, unfortunately, leave this race. Because these racing cars, they are very reliable here in GB4, but of course they are bespoke racing machines, and they need air running over their cooling surfaces to keep them cool, rather than having fans that a road car may have.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, we talked about them. Cooper Webster, he did great things. He was the last person to do the clean sweep. Went on to get a top 5 at Macau, an Indian F4 champion, and drivers who've gone on to Sid Smith, we talked about, racing in Porsche GB, and Brandon Templeton as well, who's gone through the race in British GT, and Liam McNeely, who's now off racing in USF Pro 2000, currently second in the championship. So there's been really great drivers who have come through, and it's proven very quickly to be a success.
No doubt at all, and it's good to see that also the Marshal's doing a great job just retrieving Callum Baxter's car. Very unusual to see a car not make the grid. In fact, we don't very rarely have any mechanical issues. So hopefully that's just a one-off, and we'll see Callum Baxter back and kicking, ready to go again next time out at Silverstone. But you can see there, thumbs up from Alex Berg, his teammate. No concerns about anything there. He's ready to go. A very energetic driver. Good to see characters like that on the grid. and then that's Leandro Juncos, who's had, as you mentioned a moment ago, a fairly poor weekend, but almost through no doing of his own. It's just been wrong place, wrong time on a number of occasions, and unfortunately that's meant that he's had the results that he would not have wished for, but an opportunity to go well in this one, going from, where is he on the grid?
Row 5.
Yeah, 10th place, so a good opportunity for top 10, maybe even a top 5.
Bit of a tough one to deal with now for the drivers. I mean, Leon Wilson, prime example, would have been trying to get himself ready for going to attack for a first win, has gone through that whole process of getting out onto the circuit, doing the warm-up, going through that process, which I'm sure you can tell us as a driver is, I'm sure every driver goes through their own kind of mental warm-up and physical warm-up. Then you get out onto the end of the formation lap and see, we're not quite going to go yet. How's that experience? I'm sure it's happened to you once or twice.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird mental situation because you really you're building your mental state to a crescendo, really. And then eventually, when you have a pause like this, it's almost like a bit of an anticlimax.
Yeah.
But then you have to build yourself back up again to go racing, because even though there's a delayed start, it's still very much a race. It still has exactly the same points as it would do otherwise, even though there's a slightly reduced race time. And also, let's not forget, it's hot here this weekend. When the cars stop on the grid, you've got radiators either side of you, the engine right behind you. There's no ventilation in that cockpit, or barely at all. So body temperatures will be rising as well, which can, if you're not potentially as fit and as mentally and physically ready as you might otherwise be, it can potentially lead to some mistakes. So it's all those fine margins these drivers prepare for ahead of the weekend that then come into play in situations like this.
Absolutely. Well, the track is now being cleared, so it means we are very close to being ready to go. There is the field now. Drivers left with their own thoughts. Alex Berg, no doubt, will be trying to get on an early attack of that driver there, Jack Taylor. And it will just be a case of Jack Taylor trying to pull a gap here, and we go through another formation lap. So time to warm up the tyres once again, and an important part of the process. And you mentioned about track temperature earlier, completely different what they're going to be dealing with in this race compared to what they're going to be dealing with in the other races.
Yeah, track temperature was nearly 50 degrees on Friday and then also Saturday as well. And now we're looking at air temperature 22, 23 degrees, so a few degrees cooler. That won't make a huge difference in terms of the way the cars drive. But what will make a big difference is all the racing we've had between race 2 and race 1 compared to this race 3, British GT race, which lay a lot of Pirelli rubber down on the circuit, changes the way the car behaves. And then also the track temperatures dropped, now dropping into about 29 degrees. We're looking at the data we have available to us, which sounds pretty toasty, but almost 20 degrees cooler than we've had it at other times this weekend. And that really affects how this Pirelli rubber works in terms of how you get it up to temperature, then how it feels when it's in its optimum racing window, and then also how it goes off, because racing tyres, racing slick tyres, if you push them too hard, they overheat, and then it just feels like you're just losing grip towards the end of a run. So it's not only about getting the maximum performance out of the tyres early on in the session, but also maintaining that performance and keeping that peak for as long as possible into the race, because we see mistakes towards the end of the race, and that's often caused by either the tyres maybe going off, maybe the driver's fitness not being quite there, or a combination of a number of factors.
Yeah, fitness definitely a factor. Tyre wear 100% a factor, and it's going to be a really interesting race, this one. Drivers coming through as well. We saw incidents coming through this part of the circuit into Nelson last time. For those coming through, Ari Bansal, Ginchard, Phelps, Bansal's got all the points he needed, so it'll be I'm intrigued to see how he approaches this race. In a way, he's got nothing to lose because he's got all the points he needs from this weekend now. How does he approach this race if you're Ari Bansal?
Yeah, you're right, Chris. He's already bagged 2 race wins, 2 pole positions. Strong weekend. He knows that if he just has a quiet race number 3, then it's a good weekend done. But you say that, he's got nothing to lose. But at the same time, these drivers, they don't want to get, for example, points on the licence by being reckless.
Yeah.
And also, you can carry grid penalties into the next event if you are going out there and doing things that aren't within the deemed fair or safe. So these drivers very much trying to build not only a good race, but also a good race weekend and also a good championship. And that's what the likes of Dan Ginchard in the hill speed that we're just seeing go to the left of shot. He's done so well, and what's put him in the championship lead is he's only won 2 races this season, whereas other drivers have won 2 or 3. But he's been within the top 5 in every single race, apart from the first race at Silverstone where he was 6th. So every single race has been 6th or higher this year, which is an impressive feat. Actually, no, that's not true. Apart from race 1 at Alton Park, I forgot that was the mixed grid race. But you know, the consistency is what keeps you there, and that's what you need to learn as a young driver to be able to build a successful career and be what's the word? Be desirable to teams and manufacturers and racing driver employers in the future, which is what these drivers are aspiring to.
Yeah, let's go through the top 10 again. Jack Taylor, Alex Berg, row 1. Leon Wilson, Enzo Hallman, row 2. Then Ingram Hill, Catulus, O'Grady, Hilton, Ginchard and Hunkos. Then the reverse grid top 12, Phelps and Bansal, who has been unbeatable so far. It's now going to be a 16-minute race. This round 12 of the GB4 Championship here at Snetterton. To the left there, Jack Taylor. To the right is Alex Berg. The red lights are on, and now they are out, and we are go for round 12 of the season here at Snetterton in the GB4 Championship. And it's a good start there by Taylor in the number 50. He will take us through the first turn for the first time. Leon Wilson in the 27 looks to have gone into second place in the red and white Arden. He has, and he makes a dive for the race lead. Brave driving there for Leon Wilson, and he's gone through into the race lead. So 2 corners and 2 places gained for Leon Wilson.
That was outstanding from Leon Wilson in the 27 for Arden. He got up the inside, or was alongside Taylor going into turn 1, then jumping to the inside and just took the position. And now Taylor's under pressure as well from Alex Berg. Berg goes for the lead, for second place alongside Taylor. Can't get it done this time.
Side by side briefly there were the 2 cars of Berg and Taylor, but Leon Wilson escaping out front, trying to give Arden Motorsport their first win in this championship. And look at the gap he already has out front. Jack Taylor now really looking in the mirrors, and a spin there in the background. One of the elites is round.
That's Ari Bansal. That was our race winner from 1 and 2. I think getting together with Luke Hilton. I just double checked that. It was definitely a Douglas Motorsport car, but we'll keep an eye on which driver had damage to the front wing. But Leon Wilson absolutely driving away from the front of the field, getting away from the line well and nailing the first lap. But really unfortunate from our race 1 and 2 winner, Bansal, to be out of this race. And I expect we'll probably have some sort of safety car interruption as his car looks stranded. We side by side now, the 7 Hallman alongside Ingram Hill, and it looks like I think we might have a safety car. The drivers have to race the safety car boards, which are out at Coram.
Yes, they are. Wow. How about that from hero to zero, quite literally, for Ari Bansal. Had won both races, untouchable, and then just like that, he is out of the race and he's going to go no further.
Yeah, and there's an Arden front wing there, I think, as well. So maybe there was a 3rd car involved in that. It was definitely a Douglas car. We'll keep an eye on the live timing of the line. But we were just chatting about it, just on that formation, like, weren't we, Chris? That Ari just needs a clean race. But unfortunately, his race ends in the grass with damaged front suspension. He looks physically okay as far as we're aware, but we'll keep an eye on it. Let's have a look back at the start again. It was a good start, actually, from our pole sitter, Taylor, led down towards turn 1. Luke Hilton had a bit of a poor start in the mid-pack. See in the background, Phelps fighting hard with one of the Douglas cars. Side by side, actually, Ginchard would go with O'Grady. Then this was a brilliant move down towards turn number 2. Look at that, the 27, just throwing it up the inside. But fair play to Leon Wilson, got it stopped, made the apex, block pass there, and that allowed Berg to get right underneath the rear wing. Let's have a look at the 3rd of those yellow cars. Oh no, it wasn't actually, it was the 2nd. It was the, what number is that? That's the 30th, that was Luke Hilton. I think he just got caught out by the speed that everyone was braking, or the point everyone braked down towards Oggies, and you can see Bansal there clapping his hands together in frustration, and I can understand why he's frustrated there. It was a bit of an innocent party. Unfortunately, Hilton just making a slight misjudgment there and careering into the side. Hilton has come into the pits on this lap. Remains to be seen whether he'll get back out in this race. I can hear a car leaving the pit lane from the commentary box. That is Luke Hilton, who will actually be able to join the back of the train if we're under safety car for more than a lap or so.
Well, that's a shame. Ari Bansal clattered into there, and no chance for him to go and add to the 2 wins he has.
Yeah.
And Luke Hilton has got back out onto the circuit, and there will be, I'm sure, investigations after the race into that one. There is the stricken car of Ari Bansal, and a shame we didn't quite get the chance to see what he could do in this race. But it's Leon Wilson who, the timing of this safety car, a little unfortunate for him, because he had broken clear out front. He had a gap of around 2.5 seconds to some of the drivers further back. He cleared Jack Taylor, and now he's going to have to face a safety car restart. For a driver in search of his first win, how's he going to approach this?
Leon Wilson is a pretty chill driver, having known him in this year and last year. He's pretty laid-back character, so he'll be... He's very confident of his own ability, which is a good thing to have as a young driver, and I think he'll be just genuinely thinking about, right, what can I do to give myself the best chance here? He's got the lead, that's the main objective. It's much easier to control the race from the front. It gives yourself the best chance of a race win. He now needs to nail the restart.
Yeah, it's, as you mentioned, just controlling things out front is going to be, in terms of the restart, around here, where will he be planning to go for it? Well,
the safety car lights in the race director's briefing will be going out between Nelson and the bomb hole. So I think that's turns 8 and 9, 9 and 10, something like that, which will give then all of Coram and Murray's for Wilson to slow down, let the safety car, the Hyundai N safety car, pull away into the pits, and then he can effectively choose when he then goes back to racing speed. I imagine it will be somewhere towards halfway around, 2/3 of the way around Coram, because the unique way that it continues to turn right for so long, you can kind of disguise your acceleration, and that's what he'll be trying to do, trying to catch the rest of the grid off guard, just give himself another half a second so he doesn't have to defend down towards turn 1 or into turn 2 where he took the lead on the first lap. And before we move on, worth noting that Dayton Coulthard as well, unfortunately, got caught up in that incident, or had to take avoiding action of that incident between the 46 there of Bansal and his teammate of Hilton. So unfortunately, he's pretty much last of the runners who are still going at the back of the train. So a very, very unfortunate start to the race for Elite Motorsport drivers. Sorry, not Elite, Douglas Motorsport drivers. And there you see them, Coulthard in the 28 and 32 of Hilton. So they'll be trying to fight their way back through.
Yeah, they will. So Ingram Hill, 4th, and looking at getting onto the podium. And then we got Hallman. Ginchard has gone from P9 to P6, and Junkos is 7th place. Then we have Catulus, who has made a bit of a disappointing start, really. He's gone back a couple by his standards, but he's got time in this safety car restart to try and get back through the field again. O'Grady 9th, Phelps in 10th place, and no doubt Catulus and Phelps will be trying to work their way forward. They are the 2 yellow elite cars here. So might have just been a little bit caught up in that incident as well, and that may have caused a drop back. But the safety car taking us round for now, just outside the top 10. Stefan Bostandiev up 4 places, and then it's Pribble, Bruce, McLean, Dobson, Auricola, Ruddock, Mile, Watkins, McDaniel, Coulthard, and Hilton. So
just going to correct something I said earlier on. It looked like there was an Ardent front wing next to Bansal's car. That was the front wing of Luke Hilton. There's all the Ardent cars still running roughly where they were, so that was just a misinformation from myself there. Apologies to all the Ardent fans out there. Don't worry, all your drivers are still out on circuit running for now very well.
In terms of the reduced time now, so we've gone from 18 to 16. We're going to certainly have, I think, another safety car lap. This is going to be a full-on sprint. I'm sure the tyre strategy goes out the window now, doesn't it? This is going to be full-on attack.
This has gone from a 400-metre race to a 100-metre sprint, that's for certain. It looks like the Hyundai N safety car is slowing up to give the drivers the best chance of potentially going green this time by. But with that truck still stationary on the exit of Oggies, I expect one more rolling lap, which will probably only give us a 4-minute dash at the end of this race. So if we do go another lap, but remains to be seen. They're going very slowly through Nelson now, so maybe we'll see the safety car lights go out. I hope we do, because the more racing laps, the better.
Yeah. The safety car, purple sectors, they're going to try and get this car out as quickly as possible, but no, we will go around one more time. The safety team doing a great job as always. But this is going to be basically a sprint to the line.
Yeah, 2 or 3 laps probably.
So that changes everything. Ginchard there in P6, his championship rivals behind him, so he doesn't really have to be going forward. But in terms of Leon Wilson out front, this almost working into his favour now. It's less laps for him to defend out front.
This is exactly what Ginchard's been doing all season long. If you look at the route of third races, you had the Donington, he managed to get 4th place, gaining 5 positions. Then at Silverstone, won that reverse grid race, gaining 2. Then we had 4th place at Alton Park last time out in those tricky conditions, gaining 8. So he's not only been delivering in races 1 and 2 from qualifying, but he's also then able to convert those reverse grid races, both in terms of capitalising on opportunities and also staying out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's a skill in itself.
Yeah. And I'm sure we might see Leon Wilson just taking his time as well when we get towards the end of the lap as well. Is that, this is what you want as a driver. I'm sure you've been in this situation before when it's a safety car, you're out front. Yeah, I'll just, this is absolutely fine for me. Let's let this clock tick down.
Yeah, especially for a driver as experienced as Leon Wilson. He's been in this championship the whole of last year and has got a lot of experience in racing. And I don't think he's actually led from a safety car restart unless I'm mistaken, but he definitely knows how safety car restarts go. Who would have thought about that? And he will be thinking, do you know what, if I can just back the pack up as soon as the safety car lights go out and give myself the chance of maybe even one fewer laps, that'll help him out, because every lap you do when you're at the front of the field is an opportunity for it to effectively go wrong, to make a mistake, as much as he'll back his own skills. It's so easy, the margins are so fine, especially around a circuit like Alton Park where there's no tarmac runoff, it's either grass or gravel, and the circuit is narrow. There's bumps, you can see there's a bump on the braking zone right where the drivers hit the brakes into Oggies there, and also track limits as well. So, Leon Wilson will be hoping that this keeps it short. I'm hoping that we get as many laps as possible, as will the drivers behind, like Taylor, Berg, Ingram, Hill, and Hallman.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, the lights are out. Here we go then. So over to Leon Wilson to take us to the restart. Jack Taylor will be full attack. So we had the safety car out. Ari Bansal having a collision with Luke Hilton. Luke Hilton going into the side of Bansal. That's taken our winner from this weekend, Bansal, out of the race. Car retrieved. Now let's go racing once again, and it's going to be a sprint to the line. Leon Wilson getting ready to go, Piers.
Yeah, points down to 15th in this reverse grid race, so all of the drivers in the top 15 will be getting points for position finishes, plus those bonus points for every position you finish ahead of your starting position. Leon Wilson controlling the field. Jack Taylor giving a bit of breathing room so he doesn't get duped into something that he duped into out of position starts. But there you go, Wilson keeping it very slow, potentially going to go right at the last moment. Puts the hammer down out of the last corner. We're about to go green for 4 minutes of racing here in GB4.
Over the line we go, and Leon Wilson takes us back to green flags. 4 minutes on the clock as we head across the line, and Dan Ginchard under pressure from Leandro Juncos there in the 77, looking to the outside. He's putting the championship leader under pressure, trying to get the switchback, and it looks like that was almost achieved there. Katulis trying to defend as Juncos goes down the inside of Ginchard, and that is a position change. The championship leader going backwards in this restart, and Juncos going forwards.
Yeah, that was it from his teammate. The reminder, those cars, both hill speed, different liveries, but same team. But of course, these drivers, as much as they are in the same team, they are fighting for themselves. Hallman wide on the exit of turn 3 continues on. He'll have dirt on his tyres. We'll have to be careful through this corner. But that was borne out of the fact that Ginchard made a small error in the middle of turn 1, had a poor restart, and then had a wobble through turn number 1, which allowed Juncos to get alongside down towards turn 2.
Just over 3 minutes to go between Leon Wilson, his first win, and a first for Arden. But Jack Taylor right there, Katulis round wide. And that is now allowing the pressure from O'Grady behind. Here they come onto the Bentley straight, and Katulis is, I don't even think, close enough to pick up a toe here to Ginchard ahead. And he's going to be the yellow elite car defending. There was someone else doing some defending ahead there, and this is going to be Juncos going round the outside. It is Juncos 2 for 2 on this restart here. He is past Ginchard and now he's past Hallman at the end of Bentley Straight. Great driving by the Argentinian.
Very, very impressive safety car restart this for Juncos, going up 2 positions past his teammate and championship leader, and then the winner of this race at Alton Park. So clearly making amends for the difficulties he's had this weekend so far. He's now up into 5th place.
Yes, he is, and not far away from a podium. Can we see Juncos get on the podium? He did that at Silverstone in the reverse grid race, and he is on a mission, throwing the car into that first corner. Hilton battling with Coulthard further back. Hilton will be, I'm sure, looked into for that incident he had, but trying to make amends in this one. What's going on further ahead? Juncos is closing in, isn't he, on the podium places. This is really good stuff, and Ginchard is now closing in on Hallman as well. Out front, the gap has remained at just over half a second between Wilson and Taylor.
Yeah, a good safety car restart from Wilson at the front of the field for Arden. We mentioned that maybe he was going to have to think about that and try and make the best of it, but he's almost gained that lead that he had when the safety car first came out. So, you know, absolutely ice running through his veins as wide. I think that was Berg going through Hamilton, and it was Enzo Horman as well in the number 7 Douglas Motorsport car. That's going to leave him under pressure once again from Ginchard.
Yes, good spot. Look what that's done for Berg. He is now under pressure from Ingram Hill. Thomas Ingram Hill trying to get a first podium. Can he get there down at Bentley Straight? Are we going to see the car of Berg drift over to the inside? No, it's going to be Ingram Hill going through an open door possibly, but Berg just about holds on. Brave driving from Berg there. Good car control demonstrated round the outside, but this has now closed things right up as Juncos is there.
Yeah, that was actually really smart driving from Berg there. He managed to get ahead in the braking zone and then stopped it on the apex of Nelson, forcing Ingram Hill just to back up a little bit, which allowed breathing room for Berg on the exit of the corner, and now the pressure is shifted from Berg to Ingram Hill. Ingram Hill in the number 8 white and red car for Fortic Motorsport, now being chased by Juncos, who we've seen on the move in this race.
Third in queue is Juncos as they head down the start-finish straight to begin what will be the final lap. Wilson will be ticking off the corners, and it's getting closer once again for third place. Taylor is there in second, but he's getting closer to Wilson. It's hard to know where to look in this race. O'Grady, is he defending? Is he attacking? I can't quite make my mind up. I'd say he's defending from Phelps behind. This is the battle for third place. Taylor in second has done the fastest lap, trying to get after Wilson ahead. And both of those drivers looking to get on the top step for the first time this season.
A stark example of if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. As Ginchard up the inside of Hallman, side by side through the hairpin at Agostini's, but Hallman managing to get the exit around the outside, holds on to that position. But I was just about to talk, nearly side by side through Hamilton. You don't see that very often. Hallman wide once again.
Yeah, and that's going to be Ginchard trying to take advantage now. Behind that is Gatoulis as well. So this three-way fight will continue all the way to the centre straight. I'm almost certain of that. And that was a moment for Ginchard coming on to Bentley Straight. Back with our leaders. This battle for third place still continuing, Piers.
Yeah, Gatoulis now attacking the back of Ginchard. Is he going to go around the outside of Brundle, which will give him the inside to Nelson? Can't get it done. Brave on the brakes is Ginchard. You can see the drivers fighting with the cars through there. Very tricky section, turning and braking on the curb. Car moves around a lot. You have to be absolutely pin perfect with your inputs on the car. But the driver at the front of the field, Leon Wilson, leads the way into the final corner.
Yeah, well, in a weekend where we've celebrated 75 races and history for GB4 Championship, we're going to create some more as Leon Wilson comes over the line to take his first win in the GB4 Championship, and a first for the red and white of Arden Motorsport. Nicholas Taylor finishing, Jack Taylor finishing in second place, and then Alex Berg in third place. Well done to Leon Wilson. They're giving the thumbs up to Jack Taylor finishing in second place. Berg in third place, and Ingram Hill finishing in fourth place, just shy of his first podium. Juncos finishes in fifth place, a late charge through, but a well done to Leon Wilson, gets his first win in the championship and a first for Arden Motorsport. That's been a long time coming, that for Leon Wilson. Well done to him. He's done a superb job there. Dealt with the safety car restart very well. and managed to hold off Jack Taylor, who was just shy in the end of getting that first win. But no doubt his time will come. Alex Berg on the podium once again for him. We saw him there when he took victory in the reverse grid race at round 3, and he returns there once more. So it's another podium for Alex Berg, and Ingram Hill, more good points for him. Hunkos, 5th place, and a great battle in the end that went all the way to the wire for 3rd place between those 3, between Berg, Ingram Hill and Hunkos. And it was coming into this corner here that Berg really consolidated that 3rd place, left the door open, but as Piers said, it was a good defence in the end from him and shifted the pressure onto Ingram Hill. Hunkos in 5th place, Hallman in P6, Ginchard in 7th place. So a good day at the office for Ginchard, given what happened to Ari Bansal in that race. Katulis finishes in 8th, Phelps in 9th, O'Grady in 10th place. But a well done to Leon Wilson and the Arden Motorsport team. And they will make their way down into the pit lane now. It's been a great weekend of racing overall for GB4. 3 good races. That one took a little while to get going, of course, with the delayed start. Sadly, Callum Baxter not quite able to take part. And then, unfortunately, we had the incident at the start. But when we were green, it was Leon Wilson who they were trying to catch out front. And for the first time, he will be a race winner in GB4. He's going to climb out of the car now, and that's a first win for himself and the team as well. Well done. Leon Wilson climbs out of the car, and it's a win for Leon Wilson. Huge congratulations to him. And I think, as Piers says, that's been a long time coming. Jack Taylor led us from pole position and onto the podium for him. I think he'll be very happy with that. That's 2 podiums for him now this season. And Alex Berg as well, finishing in 3rd place. But this is what it means to Leon Wilson. There is Nicholas Taylor. He wasn't on track, who won the very first race of the championship. Now 75 races in, we create more history. So the inaugural winner shaking hands with the winner of race 76, a real great moment. There's Max Maserati, who you now see sometimes on our TV coverage. Great character within the paddock. I think it's time we go and hear from, I'm sure, what's going to be quite an emotional Leon Wilson. Piers is down there.
Going to grab some reaction from what is, I imagine, a very emotional Leon Wilson. He joined the championship again this year with the hopes of a championship challenge, and things haven't gone quite his way, I think, at times, but this is redemption, I'm sure, for that. You can see the smile from what is normally a fairly chilled character. Leon, I'll get your Pirelli hat on. Let's get some reaction. Your first win in the GB4 Championship, that must feel amazing.
Yeah, it's been coming for a while, but we had to make sure we got the start good, because otherwise there was no chance we were going to get an overtake round here. So I thought Alex got a better start than me at the start, but then kept it around the outside, then I saw there was a gap. So, and you've got to go for it on the start of that, don't you?
There was only a GB4 size gap, but you took it. What I said on the commentary, outstanding move.
Yeah, I mean, last year we were a bit too aggressive. This year we've been a little bit too lenient with it. And then this race we've just come through and got with it.
And also, really good team camaraderie there. Lots of high fives, lots of hugs. They've worked a lot of people have worked with you behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, the team's been absolutely amazing this year. We had a few ups and downs with the setup, but this year this race has given me a brilliant car.
Amazing. And also, will this give you confidence going into the rest of the year now?
Yeah, I think we have the pace to be there. We've just not shown it at this moment. So. But hopefully we can show it in the next rounds.
Leon, I'll let you go and celebrate with your team, family and friends there. Our race winner in race number 3 here, round 12 of the GB4 Championship. And I'll grab a word with our 2nd place driver, who is Jack Taylor, just getting a few photos and videos with his his group of people that are supporting him. Jack, can we grab a quick word? Second place. I'm sure you'll be happy with that. However, the win was so close.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still obviously happy with P2, but yeah. Just into turn 2, I didn't expect him to be that close, so I kind of half defended, which is pretty stupid, but yeah, it's all right. I think I had good pace, but yeah, it's just so hard to follow and pass around here in the short amount of time. I just didn't get it done. But yeah, P2's still right.
No doubt you had the pace in that race. You did get fastest lap, I think, on that. To get fastest lap by a couple of tenths. So pace is in the car. The margins are so fine at the front, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's very close now. Obviously, I've had a rough weekend so far, so it's a positive way to end it. Yeah.
Positive way, another podium. Congratulations to yourself and the team. And we'll grab a word with our third place driver without going to just interrupt there some media duties. Alex Berg, who won this race at Donington Park. Alex, come forward and we'll grab a quick word. Third place, podium again in the final race of the weekend. How does that feel?
Well, I mean, a podium should always feel good, but I'm honestly just disappointed. I started on the front row, I went backwards, and it was a really short race after that. I'm not happy with myself, to be honest. I had a car to win today, and I just didn't make the most of it. But I mean, that's racing, and I'm looking for funding for the next round, so a podium result helps for that.
Well, we very much hope to see you back. The team have worked really hard this weekend to build yourself up. It looked like you had a really good pace in that last one, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I did. I just didn't maximize it, which is the frustrating bit, but it is what it is.
Hey, you're a racing driver. You're always hard on yourself. We'll hope to see you back on the grid, and congratulations on another podium.
Thank you.
Amazing race there, round number 3. A very short race in all things considered. However, a lot of drama. We'll look back at the highlights while Chris talks you through the podium.
Thank you, Piers. A shame for Alex Berg, but I think he put in a really good performance, and I really do hope he can find the necessary funding to get to Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, and that's going to be the next round. Rounds 13, 14 and 15 will be on the 2nd and 3rd of August. If you're nearby, do get down and check it out. Come and see the drivers, and they are a very friendly bunch. It's a very welcoming paddock, and we're just about to have the podium celebration now. So let's get the 3 drivers up onto the podium then. You can see the drivers getting ready to go on. This pretty much brings us to the halfway point now. It's after this we have Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, Brands Hatch Grand Prix, and then we will end with Donington Park. So only 3 weekends remaining. It's 4 down, 3 to go in terms of the weekends that we have. This round 12 of the season of 21. So we really are halfway through now. Let's do the podium then. Alex Berg finishes in 3rd place, a 2nd podium for Alex, and a return there. Felt he could have won today, but I think he'll get another win. Just hope we see him back at Silverstone. I'm sure we will. Jack Taylor finishing in 2nd. Well done to Jack, but huge congratulations to Leon Wilson on a first win for himself and the team in the GB4 Championship. Alex Berg, 3rd place. I think eventually he'll be happy with that. Jack Taylor, likewise. But what a move. It was that move at the start worthy of that trophy, Leon Wilson. And you can tell he'd been thinking of that one for a long time. And that's a superb effort from Leon Wilson. One of the moves of the season to get down the inside there at the hairpin. Right at the start, brave stuff from Leon Wilson, and he is rewarded with a race win. And given his reaction to the question that Piers put to him, I think he had that one planned before the race and executed it absolutely perfectly. So well done to the guys. I did get told we were waiting for the fastest lap award. I don't know if that's for who wins this in terms of getting the fizzy stuff open. Of course, it's for fastest lap of the weekend, but I think Leon Wilson just about won that one. There we go. Good stuff. Good sportsmanship shown. Well done, Leon Wilson, Jack Taylor, and Alex Berg, who leave the podium. And we are going to have the fastest lap award next. And there's Piers waiting down to get some reaction for us. And he will get the post-race show highlights for us as well. Okay, let's have a look back at the highlights. Round 12 got underway after a little bit of a delay due to Callum Baxter not being able to take part in the race. He broke down on the formation lap. That did not change things out front, though. This is going to be a great move coming in now. Leon Wilson, second place. He went from third to second and then from second to first with a great move down the inside at the hairpin to snatch the lead away. Ari Bansal had been undefeated all weekend and unbeatable, but his race came to an immediate end there as Hilton clattered straight into the side of him. That brought out the safety car. It also brought out problems for Dayton Coulthard, who had to go all the way around the outside. When we did get back going, it was a 4.5 minute sprint to the line pretty much, and it developed two battles, one for the overall lead, one for third place. Hunkos charged down the inside of Ginchard and then round the outside at Hallman just a few corners later. The Argentinian pushing on for a podium finish to try and get back there again. But out front it would be history made. Leon Wilson, a first win for him and for the team in the GB4 Championship. Confirmation of the results at the end of that race. Leon Wilson taking the win by half a second ahead of Jack Taylor. They were 3 seconds clear from Berg in third place, who held off the pressure of Ingram Hill. And then it was Hunkos, Hallman, Ginchard, Katulis, Phelps, O'Grady, 10th place. Points down to 15th, so the last of those went to Bastandia, Pribble, Bruce, Dobson and McLean. And then outside of that, Hilton, Coulthard, Auricola, hope we see her back. And then Ruddock, Mile was 20th. And then McDaniel, Watkins, Bansal, we lost right at the start. We lost Baxter before the race had started, unfortunately. And that concludes round 12. We will get some reaction down with Piers now. It's been a pleasure to call the action for you. Lewis will be back next time, but let's get some reaction now from Piers Prior.
Thanks very much, Chris, for talking us through all the action this weekend. We're down here getting some of the reaction after the podium, and I'm going to grab a word with whoever is around here. I'm hoping to grab a word with Mr. Wilson. Come on in this side. I'm being told that you are Father Wilson. What's your name? What's your name?
David.
David, you must be very proud. What a race from Leon.
Excellent. Yeah, about time coming, I have to say. but yeah, very proud of him.
Yeah, he absolutely took that race by the horns.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he kept his position all the way through, kept his head, which is the important thing. You know, he's had a few issues in the past, but yeah, it's been a good race for him today. So very proud of him.
Very proud indeed, and of course, being your parent, you see what the work that goes on behind the scenes, what he does in between races. I know that he's a hard-working driver. Just give an idea of the commitment these drivers give, and especially Leon.
He's extremely committed. He does all his sports work, obviously coupled with his school work as well. So we've had some good support from the school, which is great. So, but he works very, very hard. Yeah, he's committed to this without a shadow of a doubt. And again, the whole team. And again, our backers as well, Kingston Carton and Everquip. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Amazing. Well, I'll let you go and celebrate with the team after what's a great end to the weekend. Thanks very much for chatting to us. And I'm hoping to grab a word with our championship leader, Dan Ginchard, who was the Sunoco fastest driver of the weekend as well. Come on in, Dan. I know we chat to you a fair amount, but I think seeing as you've got another pot to add to the collection, or it's actually a glass, isn't it? A good weekend from yourself, some good results, and of course, coming away from this weekend still leading the championship must be a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely. Around here especially, we thought it was going to be a really tricky weekend, so to actually extend the championship lead overall was really positive. The team have done a fantastic job.
Yeah, and you've done a great job behind the wheel as well. A bit of fortune for yourself was misfortune for Ari Bansal. Of course, he was taken out of that race through no fault of his own, but I suppose you'll take the points where you can get them.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, especially when the lead are so fast, we've got to take every opportunity we can get. Keeping our nose clean has been such a big part of it this year, and I'm glad to score some more points.
Back to Silverstone next. What's your thoughts ahead of that one?
Well, we finished it very strong last time, so hopefully we can start on the same footing and get some really strong results.
Dan Ginchard, championship leader, I'll let you go and cool off after what's been a busy race weekend. That concludes our racing here for this weekend at round number 12. But don't forget, still plenty more racing coming in the GB4 Championship. 2nd and 3rd of August we go racing at Silverstone once again for rounds 13, 14 and 15 of the championship. Make sure to set a reminder on your phone, put it in your calendar, whatever you need to do to make sure that you join us for them. The racing is going to be electric, always entertaining racing at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. We've seen it this year already. Who knows what's going to happen in terms of the championship? It's shaping up very, very nicely. Well, we hope you'll join us then. And so for this weekend here at Snetterton, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at Silverstone.